Hello and welcome back to another video for patch 6.4 with me, Meoni. We're looking at all of the things they've done in patch 6.4 to Final Fantasy XIV, and one of the first things I wanted to talk about today was the display name section. So this is the nameplate above your character and indeed other characters that you might encounter. We can actually change this for both PvE and PvP related duties, as well as the open world if we so desire. To do so, and this is turned off default to be off, we need to go to the system menu, which is escape on PC, or you simply go to the subcommand of the system menu and go to character configuration, which has the shortcut of K on the keyboard, by the way. Default, it will probably be on a different tab, so what you want to do is find the display name settings tab, which looks like a jumping platform from Mario stuck on top of someone's head. It is this option that you want. On the general tab, which is all the way at the end, by the way, confusingly, there is a bunch of new stuff. First of which, we have the ability to display our class or job icon on nameplates. This applies to our character and other characters, and also has customization for PvP we'll talk about in a moment. If we tick this box, essentially outside of duties as well as inside duties, no matter where we are, we will now have job icons next to players' character names, basically. If this looks a little bit tiny, you can actually change the size here. It says affect name size. We can change this all the way to its maximum size, or we could change this down to its smallest. This changes the size of those plates to the point where you would need a microscope to see what that job icon was anyway, but we can set that to the largest or whatever we want to do and just simply hit apply. In PvP and outside in the open world, you can actually change the way that this is displayed. For example, if you do not want a big bulky icon like that, you can actually change it to this as well. So this is just the sage icon with some transparency, a bit of a black drop shadow on there to make it stand out. Much easier, I think, at least to my eyes, than seeing it like this. This is especially useful in PvP situations. For example, if you're running down a hill in Onsal Hakir and you see a bunch of people, normally you would have to identify what each of those jobs or classes that they're using is, so that you would know who is the easiest target. Sometimes people mark the easiest target. Sometimes you come across a Dark Knight tank that's going to absolutely crush your face, and you would waste your time by fighting against them most of the time. That sort of happens to me as a sage. At least with this now, I would be able to quickly identify who my target was and who I wanted to avoid at a distance, and we have a customization of how we see that. But these options apply in and out of combat wherever you are. You also have the ability now, this is new, the ability to toggle the display of the traveler title in instance duties. So sometimes when you're visiting other data centers, playing with other people, you have the traveler title. You can toggle this on and off now in your own display. It doesn't affect other people's display, this affects yours. So if you don't want to be seen with the traveler title, you can turn that off if you so wish to desire. Also, another thing that's been added that most people probably know more about is the color coordination with roles. This is something that only applies to PvE duties and not PvP at this point in this patch, but if we tick this box, that now means that every single one of these roles will light up inside PvE duties with that specific color. This is especially useful if you're trying to determine if you did something incorrectly on, I don't know, let's say you were doing a savage fight and you were like, who was that was next to me? They were in the wrong place, or I think I might have been in the wrong place. Now you can easily identify without just looking at the player's name. Oh look, it was the tank. The tank was in the wrong place because I saw a blue nameplate over in that location. You can customize this further as well by clicking on any of the individual roles. It brings up a color palette and we can change that if you want to. This didn't immediately strike to me as very useful until I realized again that new players might be coming from other MMORPGs where the tank, healer and DPS sort of holy trinity might actually be given different colored nameplates or different colored roles. For example, in one game you might have pink representing tanks. I don't know what game that might be, but it might exist, so you can make things easier for yourself. Again, this only applies to your visualizations and not others. They can customize to their own desire. Also, if you'd rather and you wanted to see people with specific colors, you could make them whatever color you want to. For example, if I wanted to, I could just have everybody a slightly different shade of gray, which would irritate me to no end, but you can do that if you want to. So let's go show you this in action. We'll be able to cue in and show some of the things firsthand. So here we are, we're actually queued unsynced into the burn. I just thought this would be a good, quick, easy, dirty demonstration. As you can see, I've queued in with my girlfriend Fran here. And as you can see, we've also got the color representation on her nameplate, as well as her job icon. Only I can see that. She can customize it how she likes. I especially like this, like I said before, the prime example of making those nameplates nice and big, but also even if you have abbreviations on, let's say you're a streamer and you just have MW, which is the usual way, and like Fran is FW here, it means that you know where people are, signified by both the job icon now, but also the coloration. And we can do this on the fly as well. We can change this whilst we're in here. We can change DPS to be, I don't know, this beautiful looking turquoise if I want to. Whatever is easier for you to see where people are. And I think this is a real game changer. And I think a lot of people will be applying this when they do their raiding progress, because it's just simple. It's nice and easy from a distance to know exactly what happened if people were in the wrong place and so on. And of course, we can apply the change to the top of that nameplate icon as well. We can turn that off as well. One of the other things you can do then outside of just this is it affects chat as well. If we go to the log window settings, which is down the bottom, you'll see under the name display settings down here that you can tick this, like you can click this box. Once we have this box open, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. So as a streamer and a content creator, usually I like to just leave people as initials. So FW, MW, it means that basically I can display them in a party without giving away their character information. It's a much nicer sort of thing. It sort of fits better with the policy of streaming and content creation. But what you can also do is you can display specifically their job next to them in chat, as well as their role or whatever, or just off. The example is given at the bottom, as you can see here, with Cecil Harvey saying, "Prepare for battle, please come back safe, okay? Come on, we have to go now. Stop nagging me, I know." So if you wanted them to display with what exactly they were, what job they were playing, it would display. Personally, I think that the role one is probably a better way, so you know exactly who you're talking to. Oh, I'm talking to the healer, for example, or I'm talking to the DPS, vice versa. And you can also make it so that you can apply the same colors or colors that you've set up separately from the display settings to all character information or just their job and class name only, right? So if we have the first one ticked, you'll see that every time that Cecil is talking in chat, we see his role because we have that displayed. If we turn that off, we can, or the job icon in particular, but their name will be lit up in the same role color that you've set, and you can customize that on here as well. Ooh, that would be painful for me personally, but as you can see, it works perfectly fine. That's because I didn't press the apply button. Aha! Now, as you can see, now we have this multicolored situation where we can change the color. How we doing? And I know for a fact, in this particular case, that Fran is playing as a DPS. Now, I could change this even further and press apply, and then when we say hello again, it says that I am a sage. So it doesn't retroactively change the icons and things. You have to then type something new to be able to see that. So if Fran was to say, "How you doing today?" or whatever she might type, if I make that change, like as I have done now, like she's done the happy face, the happy smiley face, we can now see what job she is playing. This is really cool, really useful. Accessibility is always a nice thing, like I said before, but this brings it even further. So I think the combination of the chat log display name settings, which again, if you're not sure, are on the log window under the name display settings, if you click that, and the previous one under display name settings under general, these are brilliant quality of life changes that are going to make the game a completely different experience for some people. There are definitely improvements that can be done, but this is a great step forward. Anyway, more quality of life changes and more in 6.4 to come in future videos. There's a lot to cover. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos and hopefully you're enjoying the patch. It is full of fantastic content and some really good changes in the back end as well. So much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Fran, for helping me, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.